Hi, I'm Allison from the National First Ladies Library in Canton, Ohio. I'm going to walk you through what is in our Ladies in the Lab number 2 kit. So we'll talk about all the supplies and how you can create your own art robot. So when you get your kit, you'll have a box filled with all of these goodies, and I'll explain what they are, plus some information on our scientists of the month. So we're focusing on Katherine Johnson, who was a human computer for NASA. So there's a bio on her, some extra information on women who were human computers as far back to the 19th century, some info on female friendships and the film Hidden Figures, on creating your own affirmations to be able to do things as cool as Katherine, and then more on the Mars rover. So you can learn about all of the women at NASA who have worked on the rover, and then the new robot that's going to land on Mars. It's actually a helicopter, and the women scientists behind that. So you get even more women scientists this month than ever before. And then you'll get directions on our science activity for the month, so you'll be able to make your own art robot. And the supplies you'll get in your kit are one plastic red cup. We're going to give you electrical tape and duct tape, a cork. You'll get 2 batteries, a battery holder. These things are called alligator clips. They clip like this, and a motor. This is just like a toy motor with a little tip that goes around here, and this is a motor holder. And then you'll get some things to embellish your robot, and last but not least, you'll get 4 markers that you can use to make your artwork and make your art robot go. So when you get your supplies and you're ready to go, and this is one that might need a little bit of help from an adult. There's a little bit of cutting with a sharp object involved, and then the wires are really tiny, so you might need some help and you might troubleshoot. But again, it's like Katherine did when she couldn't get into meetings with other men, or when she wanted to have her name on a report. You just have to use those positive affirmations and say, I can do this, I can get through this. And as you watch me, you're gonna see me make a lot of mistakes too. So the first thing I did was make a cut into my cup. And I made it big enough for my motor to go in, but not big enough for my battery pack to go in, okay? And what I'm going to do is a little bit backwards, just so that the motor doesn't make the noise. The first thing I'm going to do is decorate my ArtBot. And you're also going to need scissors and glue, which we don't send with the kit. So make sure you pull those out. Who doesn't love googly eyes? So we're going to do those first and let them dry for a minute. And then we're going to take our markers. And the great thing about this is you can experiment as you do it. So you can move your markers around. The first time I did this, I used 3 markers, but next time I might add 4. So you want to take your markers and you want to have them evenly placed around your art robot, just like so. And you're going to use your masking tape. You can also use your masking tape for decoration too. We sent some pretty cool masking tape. There's cupcakes, there's polka dots like this one. So don't be afraid to go crazy with the masking tape as you're doing this. Okay, so I'm going to place them evenly. These markers are really great because they smell good too. And let's see, we're going to put it right here, and it's kind of going to be a nose for him or her. So let's try that. Okie dokie. And we want to line it up just like so. Oop. And my eyes are already moving around. So again, we're just going to go with it. And let's see, does he stand up? He stands up all right. Maybe we should add that 4th marker. Let's do it. Okay, and we want to make sure it's lined up and that he can stand. There he is. This one's not all the way down, but I'm not going to worry about that until later. Okay, so he can stand up. He's ready to go. We might let our googly eyes dry for a little while, and now I'm going to move on to the crazy scientific part. So we're going to take your batteries and put them in your battery pack, and then you're going to take the wires from your battery pack. There's black and there's red, and you're going to line them up like so. And I used a little electric tape. You want to make sure the red touches and the black touches each other, just like so. And sometimes, if you have the right tools, you can strip the wires just a little bit. Let's see. But what I did, see, there you can see it's working. So for mine, I actually am going to use the alligator clips just for this one. So we know that they're touching because it's going. And now we're going to put it right in here. So the hardest part, and the part that I get the most frustrated with this project, is to make sure that the motor is going and the alligator clips don't get disconnected like mine seem to have done here as I place it in place. So sometimes you've just got to screw around with it a little bit. So I'm going to take my motor and stick it right up in my guy here. And you can add your motor clip too. I didn't include mine this time, but it helps to kind of hold it in place. So here's my motor on top. And I'm going to take my cork and stick it right on that little piece that's sticking up. And then I want to make sure that I'm making those battery connections again, right? So it goes. And then we're going to tape our battery pack inside. And we're going to push up all our wires. And when you want it to turn off, you can take the battery pack apart and take your batteries out, or you can just detach your alligator clips. If you're really fancy, you can get a little switch for it if you really like it and want to be able to turn your robot on and off constantly. But you can see why I did this piece last, because it's really loud. So I've kind of got him taped up. He's got a little bit of loose clip there. But let's see. The other thing you want to do is have a big piece of paper. But we'll use our kit and see how it goes. So you can see I taped in the battery pack and I stuck my cork on top. And again, this one's a little finicky. The cork doesn't want to stay really well. But why do you think the cork makes it wobble? It's kind of what makes it work, right? So it makes it kind of off balance, and then it wibbles and wobbles back and forth. So you can experiment with what you put on the top. You could put a pipe cleaner. You could put something else to help decorate it or keep it staying. But here he is. Here's our art robot. All of his parts are taped up in the top, and that cork is spinning around, and he's making a really beautiful picture. So you can see how he's kind of making dots because he's vibrating back and forth. See if you move around the markers, what kinds of lines you can make and what sorts of things you can make with your art robot. And again, being a scientist, whether you're Katherine Johnson or you're just Miss Allison here trying to make things work, takes a lot of experimenting. It takes a lot of deep breaths, and I know you can do it. So pull together your supplies for the next ladies in the lab and make your own art drawing robot. Thanks so much for joining us.